All right. Well, it's a little bit scuffed episode. Hey, anyways, Happy New Year, everybody's.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Welcome back to the Hot and Trash podcast. We've been off for I don't know how long now. It's been a while. How's
Yeah,
everybody doing today?
I got hit with the fucking flu, so if I
That's
sound
wonderful. What about everybody else?
fuck
I
you,
have a minor headache.
I'm about to
well,
give you.
it looks like everybody's sick here. So what's going on? You know, why are we all sick today?
No, I think I just need to drink water, and I don't have any with me right now.
Oh my
You need
god.
to jerk off. You should probably do that.
Oh my god. Don't do it on stream, please.
Do it on stream.
Oh my god. Well,
I
yes,
wanna see
yeah.
people live.
So for those that yes, I come down with the flu. So if I sound shut up. So if I sound worse than usual too, it is definitely because my throat absolutely fucking hurts right now. So I'll do my best to go through with the podcast today too, but I do want to like at least do something for at least for the first week of New Year since yay, holy shit. We are now in the year 2025. Is there anything that you guys missed or think back on 2024 that you've had fond memories of?
Yeah, I
Nope.
don't know how it passed by so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this man met his now wife this past year and got married in the same year.
I literally met my wife last year and got married in the same year. It's crazy.
Yeah, goddamn. I mean, a lot of people will definitely say, damn, that's fucking fast. I mean, to be fair though, we're at that point of age right now too, where if you like the person that you're with too, fucking why not, right?
Mhm.
So
True. I am getting that age, so you know it's time to just start thinking about settling down.
How about you, Brian?
oh, I feel absolutely awful with the way how many times I got sick this year. God damn it.
What a great start to the year.
First it was that Orlando trip that I got back from that I got sick from, and now here. God damn it. Oh man. But less about me and more about on today's topic. How about that? We're gonna
Wait
talk
a minute, I
about
got to ask Lloyd.
oh
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. We're doing a small catch up, bro. We haven't been on
Yeah.
stream for a while.
true. Lloyd, would you like to share?
He ignored me. My feelings are hurt.
Yeah, nah, everybody report Brian for being
Man.
an absolute shit.
Mhm.
Man.
I love you, Brian. It's okay. We all love you.
Who?
Fucking
Okay.
Victor. Shut up. You try to do this shit. Oh god.
We could if you let us.
Mm.
Yeah, but as soon as I try to do something, all you guys do to club for me is by making fun of my coughs.
Correct.
You assholes. Anyways, Lloyd, would you like to share today?
Cough.
How was your 2024, big boy?
Fantastic. My
sure about
addiction
that.
of shiny cardboard has expanded. As
Ah.
Yes. Now he's spending
Shiny.
tons of money on buying cards,
yeah, dude.
buying One Piece cards.
God.
Election.
Why do they call it One
Mm.
Piece when there's like a million and two pieces?
Well,
We'll never know.
it's the friends you make along the way.
We'll never know what the One Piece is.
Okay, well, the friends you make along the way. I mean, like, I'm sure all the friends you meet are more than One Piece, bro.
Yeah, they're in one piece, and together you are one piece. How about that?
My ass.
Yeah, that's two cheeks, but it's one on one surface.
Two cheeks,
What?
one butt. Is that how it works?
Yes.
I feel like this is getting
All right,
out of
well.
hand right now.
All right, what a wonderful 2024, guys. Everything is wonderful.
Excellent.
Oh, oh, fuck me. Mm.
Any card.
No.
But today's topic, we're going to be diving into a topic of skill issues and if it's a genuine problem with a lot of gaming.
So I
So,
can tell your health has a skill issue.
oh
Oh!
my fucking
immune
god.
and that immune system got some skill issues.
That's it. I'm about to,
Baby.
that's it. I'm about to spread open your mouth so I could cough into it, Michael.
Passive trait. I mean, I get sick more easily.
That's a
Fuck you.
debuff, bro.
Yeah, but does it stack? Oh,
How many points do you think it gives to the perk tree?
just one.
Just that's pathetic.
It
Yeah.
is quite.
Ah. Yeah, I will just fucking cough into your mouth.
Oh yeah, make love to me.
Mm.
What?
What?
I don't think he stuttered.
Okay, so in this case, this will be a general question I want to ask you guys too. Do you think right now, with a lot of like games too, do you think like the skilled players will technically kill the game?
No,
No.
Skilled players.
I don't think so.
I disagree.
I mean,
wholeheartedly.
when we talk about, when you ask that question, what do you mean? Like bad people ruining the game, good people ruining the game, or what?
So this is a question that I see going around too, where let's say, for example, where you see a lot of comments going around says like, oh, all of these sweats or tryhards are killing the game. Let's say, for example, League of Legends.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I think naturally you're in a competitive game, so you're going to draw competitive people. So if you run into them, you're just gonna have to get over it.
But look, you are playing a competitive game, so you're gonna have to be like, like it says, competitive. You
Yeah,
can't
like
just, you can't just casually play a game
if
with
I
a bunch
go
of
into
games meant for sweats.
if I go into a game and I want to win, but my other guy is like, but I'm too casual to even try to win, and I'm like, get out of here. What are you doing? You're bombing the team immediately.
Yeah.
Or either way too. Yeah, you can still play the game, but if you're just gonna think that way, then your experience is just gonna be that.
It's gonna be terrible because then you're just gonna get steamrolled.
hmm
exactly.
So they're not ruining the game. It's just, not meant for casuals.
So do you think right now there's like especially in this case, how do you feel about like games themselves too that are trying to like games that are traditionally competitive like that too? They're trying to like make stuff to appeal to a much more casual audience.
Well, how do
ARAM.
they do so? First of all, is the biggest question.
I mean, the way League does it, they have ARAM and stuff, so I see that as okay. And they also have these events here and there.
Yeah,
I
like
think that's
as
fine
long
for the
as
casual players.
as long as like the way that they try to do it doesn't actually like interfere with the competitive aspect of the game. Like ARAM is like you go into it knowing you're just kind of like chilling. You're
You're
throwing
messing
abilities
around.
around.
Yeah.
You're just you're messing around. Like the skill level and the expectations are extremely low compared to like the Summoner's Rift. You're not like I could see that, but it really depends on how they're trying to implement this. They implement these things.
Right.
And also, a lot of these competitive games have ranked as well. So if you're really a sweaty, you can just play ranked and just ignore all the casuals.
Correct.
Exactly.
Now, this is also something that like I was like a part of the, not really a part of like the sweat group too, but there was a time too where like I just watched a lot of like YouTube videos, so like how to do builds, and I realized the more I watch these videos, the less fun I began to have with League of Legends, just because the fact that the more I think about it, the more I'm like, damn, if I don't follow these build guide videos, I tend to like fall super far behind because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And even if I did follow it too, and it doesn't go exactly to plan, I get frustrated at myself like, fuck, did I do something wrong?
I mean, following
Yeah.
build guides is just one part of it. It's
Yeah,
also you need a fundamental knowledge of how the game works.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If someone tells you how to do something or build something for you, you may like if someone builds something for you, let's just go with that. Like you don't know how it was built, you don't know how it functions. So
Yeah.
like if someone builds a loadout for you or a build for you, you really have to sit down and actually like read how it works and mess around with it, because you're basically just copying. You didn't build it yourself. You haven't worked with it.
You're not actually understanding how to use it.
Yeah.
You're just given. It's just given to you, and you're just told to here. This is good, and you just try it out.
So in this case, we all in agreement too. Like people that make like these build or loadout videos too, they're not really feeding into the problem of like the disparaging skill gap, right?
Not necessarily. No, I don't think so.
Like I said, you got to be able to take advantage of it for it to work. I mean, people who don't understand the game can't take advantage of the builds. People who do will.
Yeah,
It just depends.
I can't tell you how many times I followed a build guide or something like that and still got my self completely stomped. Like just because you build a certain way does not necessarily mean you're going to like succeed the same way.
Yeah.
Success is not guaranteed because you copied someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, success is not guaranteed because you copy someone else that was successful.
Yeah. Like that's something that like a lot of people are like making the comments about too, just because hey, it's like damn, it's like the
That
game
just
just barely
sounds like
came out. The game
that
just
just
barely
sounds
came out.
like
Yeah.
look. That sounds like they're just blaming everything else besides themselves.
I think
Oh
I
yeah.
can see kind of an argument for it where it's
I don't.
more like if everyone follows these kind of builds, then the game tends to have everyone doing the same thing, and then therefore it kind of like dulls out the experience.
That's
But then,
fine, but
like, at the same time, you have to like kind of blame the player for not attempting to learn it themselves, you know?
I mean, even if everybody follows the same thing, it's not like the same thing can be used, I guess, equally amongst everyone. You know, everyone's not going to use it the same way.
Hmm.
Like, they're not going to they're not going to use a loadout the same way. They're not going to like build out builds the same way. So either way, it's going to be the outcome of a game can still be different no matter if everyone's using the same build.
Hmm.
Yeah, because like that was something that like the comment being that like the game just barely came out, yet there are like 50 build videos already for like this game that
That's
just
fine.
only
Yeah,
came out. And I'm like,
that's
I don't
just.
think that's a problem. Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, look,
it's views. Let's be honest.
some people will use these build guides as a foundation to learn the game better. I mean, it
Yeah.
shouldn't be seen as a bad thing. I mean, if all you're doing is copying, obviously you're gonna be trash. That's just no way around it. But if you're using
Right.
it as a base to start off with and then slowly learn from there, I mean, that's the way it should be, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Like
sir.
yeah, and it's like even like this too, that like what was it? I'll use like this for example too. Like a lot of the fighting games. Those are notoriously like just super hard for anyone to like just hop into no matter what. Like there's so many like things too that like I think like a lot of the fighting game community they do understand the inherent nature of like we want the community to grow, but obviously the games are so hard for like newcomers to come into it that there's not like really good ways to like kind of showcase or like kind of help like have like normal people like improve to like that competitive level. But
Okay,
as of lately, there's
well,
been like a lot of new games and tools that are going out that are like helping players actually understand the game better, such as like Tekken 8's like replay system.
I think
Where
my argument is still
yeah.
that even though that it's hard for newcomers to join the game, you, you still have to learn it. You know, like you can't just make the game easier
Yeah.
and just leave it at that.
Yeah, but here's the thing about it too. I think I like the way how a lot of new fighting games are approaching this problem too. And it's the fact that they're not trying to make the game easier. They're trying to make it more accessible. By that, like you give them more training tools to like help them like like train better. However, there are ways that people could have done that before this tool, but it's just super helpful to have in the end.
But it's still accessible, but it's still
Yeah.
hard. So I mean, it'll still
Yeah.
like push away a lot of people, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll still do that. Like, I don't think there's like a way how you could honestly do that while at the same time
I-
trying to like appease like your own player base.
Look, these companies shouldn't be targeting everyone. They should be targeting a specific subset of people.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, so where did the failure of MMR happen when it comes to like being able to put people who are of equal status against each other?
Oh, like matchmaking and ranking stuff.
Yeah, MMR.
From what I've been told about that too, that could also be like a bit finicky here and there too, because honestly, it's really hard to like try to go explicitly based on like a player's skill, because people have their ups and downs throughout the day.
Yeah, that's weird. What's the weird when you think about it? How do you quantify player skill?
Yeah.
Right, it's just a bunch of numbers on a screen. How do you like really?
I think
know
it
how
was
good a player
it
is?
had more to do with recent losses and victories.
Bro, me and Lloyd could top frag one game and then get destroyed the next game easily.
Dude.
I mean,
For sure. We're
Yeah.
damn
I'm sure when it
dude.
comes to shooting games like that, then it has more to do with it still has to do with like win loss, but also has KD or like the overall. I mean, I don't know. I don't
either
know
way,
what if
either
they
way,
I don't-
it's just a bunch of numbers, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
sure, but
skill-
those
skill
numbers
shouldn't-
reflect
look, skill
those numbers
shouldn't be
reflect
about-
what happened.
skills and that shouldn't be the main things when determining skills. I mean, there's a lot of other things to be concerned about too.
Sure, and I don't know
And-
if
and that-
the
and that's
programmers
why you-
involved did that.
and that's what I'm saying. You can't quantify the other things you need to do in order to actually win a game.
But if you don't have these types of features, you actually get the problem that like X Defiant did. Like their whole marketing point was that they weren't gonna have like match
No,
rank
that's fine.
system.
I'm not saying you shouldn't have it. I'm just saying, like, how do you truly make a proper MMR system?
Yeah, because like
Starting by sitting down and thinking about it. I don't know.
that's not an
People have done
answer.
it. Technically, it's a start, but I mean, people have implemented MMR systems. The only way if you're not going to do it yourself from the ground up, is to ask and see how it was programmed previously, and see if that is like how that worked, how that functioned.
They'll probably tell you that it was just a bunch of fucking numbers that they put together.
I mean, it's the
And then
only
you would
way.
ask the logic behind the numbers. Why those?
Yeah.
What did it mean?
They probably have weights to them.
Mhm. But I think the better thing to like how's going to mention X Defiant here, because that was the game that a lot of people were more or less excited about, that since it said that in their promotion that they are marketing for matches that they were not going to be using skill-based matchmaking, which a lot of cases too, that sounds like, oh, that just means that like, oh, like everybody gets to play in, but you get to see the big issue like really quick. If there's no skill-based matchmaking, you're going to be filled in with a lobby full of sweats or uber noobs.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's a problem in itself.
Yeah, and it's just like,
that's a personal problem there.
yeah, the skill-based look, the skill-based matchmaking is not for like the people that are sweats. It's to honestly protect like the actual casual players, just so that they can actually get, you know, engagement.
Well, it's to ensure that the people of similar skills are matched up against each other. That's also not always the best thing,
Yeah.
because then if you're always stuck in a specific group, that sounds quite familiar, huh? If you're always stuck in a specific group, then you're never able to
like go up or down. Like
go up to a different rank or anything like that.
Yeah. But it's also like the skills itself too, that's more of like still an individual person in the end. Because like there's no like development feature that any game developer can say to like, oh, well, if you're having a hard time with this, you could just do this mechanic instead that's hidden in some menu somewhere to make you play better. No, they're not going to really do that. Yeah, that's literally all they tell you. Hell, Marvel Rivals that just came out too, they even said it too. Like if you're losing a lot of games, dude, they literally put you in a match full of bots.
Dude, that's just their way of saying that you are horrible at the game.
Yeah,
that is, and that's kind of hilarious. Not gonna lie to you.
Okay, so I guess if you were trying to figure out the root of why people do the things they do, why do sweats act like sweats? Why is it? Is it a show off? Is it like ranking?
yes.
Is it because it? Okay, so
I mean,
how about this?
Yes, there's a show off, but there's also people who are actually competitive.
So how about this? So we all know like the basic casual rank and ranking system.
Yeah.
Correct. Like it's just the typical stuff. Why don't games do like a true casual where it's like nothing that you do is tracked, so there's no competitive nature, there's nothing you can show for it.
Yeah,
and then like
we call that as normals.
No, and then normals is normals, hello. And then where it's actually like normal people wanting to play the game and then tracking it, and then you can do like a ranked or harder, like hardcore version of it. And
I mean,
casual,
tracking it or not doesn't seem to make a difference.
Well, I thought a lot of the reason people were hardcore about it was because it's like your KD's going up, or because it's making you look good on your like win-loss ratio. But if in a true casual, none of that would ever be like logged. So you would just be playing casually, like truly casually. You couldn't compare to anyone else.
I mean, I guess, but I'm sure that won't be fun for a lot of people.
Well, maybe, but like if you're wanting to be casual, there's your casual. It can't get any more casual than everyone just coming together playing the game and not even like.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, it can and get more casual. It's just nobody plays the game.
Yeah, just don't play the game that you're complaining about too. Like,
but
literally,
you guys know what I'm trying to say, right?
No, I mean, at that point, you just might as well play normals. That's the thing. That's what
Yeah,
normals
it's
is.
just normal.
Like
But
it,
normal-
It,
So,
it tracks
like,
it tracks your stat it tracks your stats, but it's not like
But that's what I
Yes,
mean. Like,
important.
not even casual tracks your stats. Like, you're truly being casual. While normal is kind of like, I may
But-
try today.
But then even if it doesn't track your stats, what if you get mashed up with some sweats and then you just get steamrolled? That's still not fun.
That
Yeah.
yeah. I'm very sure the point of it was like an ego temper. Like I
Either
feel
way.
like most people who are going to be like super hardcore
Even
and competitive have like the
even
ego
if
to do so.
even if you're casual, there's still a desire to not lose.
yeah.
Yeah. But like I would imagine that the super competitive sweats probably would not, like, if they go into a casual, it would be a little odd.
But look,
Or
it
maybe
could
they
be
just want a pub stop,
look,
but,
it could
like-
be the sweats that think they're good, so they want to like go to casual and take advantage of that, and just play against all the sucky people.
That
Oh.
just sounds boring. Like, that sounds like you're wasting everyone's time.
But that's feeding into the ego though, because they think they're good.
Oh,
But it will never be tracked.
Before
doesn't
we
matter.
continue on,
They still win.
Before we continue on, to give people some definition here, sweats just means that people that are intensely try-harding at a game.
Or
That's
just,
like our definition
just
of it.
unnecessarily competitive.
Yeah, that's like for those that are like watching in on this. Yeah, that's what our definition of sweats is for this context.
And I imagine inevitably, like no matter how perfect of a system you could conjure up, like, you would still have a sweat join in on a
Of course.
casual and pub stomp. But like, at that point, when is it the fault of the game and then just not the fault of the
Currently,
like
it's not the fault.
sociopathic,
I don't think it's the
egotistical
fault.
guy?
That's not the fault of the game at all. If there's
It's
a guy who's bad, if there's a guy who just wants to prey on people who are not that good, then there will be those people.
Mhm.
Like, I'll show you a video about this later, Michael, but there's literally a guy that's prolific in the gaming space to be so bad at games. He struggled to do any of the Legend of Zelda puzzles, where like a VTuber spent only 30 seconds and figured out the puzzle.
Well, I would have to see this puzzle. It doesn't
Yeah.
sound impressive to me if you're like,
Yeah.
if you're just telling me that one person
Like-
did it in 5
like,
minutes and one
here's the
person
thing.
did it in 30
Here's the thing
seconds.
about it. There's just like a thing too that like some people had to realize they're just naturally just bad at games. That is the best thing about it.
Naturally bad.
Like, okay, maybe not naturally here, but they're just straight up bad at games. There's nothing to go around it to. Look at most of us here. I am technically the worst in the group here.
There's no technicality here.
Damn.
Hey, fuck you. You know what? Fine. Yes, I am the worst here. Look at, like, if you look at our profiles of like Delta Force 2, our shit, it looks, these two look at like stabs or padded stats here. Whereas for me, it's like,
Well.
motherfucker, you just died so
To
many
be
times.
fair.
What the hell?
My stats is padded by heels.
I
get
should come out and say that to the audience that I typically play strategy or single player games. I rarely do any sort of competing in a fight amongst friends. So it's just kind of like, it's very
really
casually
engage.
competitive, if that makes any sense. But I don't typically play like multiplayer shooters or anything like that anymore, or any competitive game.
You just like a chill time.
Oh, I like a long form, and it's harder to get long form with groups of people. I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
but-
the longest form I was willing to do was the Dokapon Kingdom, and Brian said nah. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, there goes that. I was willing to do it, but I guess not this. I guess not in this lifetime.
Damn.
Damn. But like I said, outside of that, I think right now, like going back to why I'm into that, like people are just naturally bad at games, right? I think when it does come to like a lot of popular games, Call of Duty, for example, you're definitely gonna catch the attention of a lot of casual players wanting to play the game because it's the hottest new game that's in the market right now. Everybody is playing it. So naturally, people will want to like go to it to play this said game. And lo and behold, damn, there's so many complaints because I'm getting matched up with a bunch of sweats. It's like, if I really take that out of context, does Call of Duty have a sweat problem? Or is it just because that there's so many casual players that they are reporting in this case that they're just losing the game naturally?
A good question. But I think there are a lot of sweats in Call of Duty.
Indeed. especially in Black Ops 6, where you're like doing a goddamn 360 in the air and somehow trick shotting and still kill me with a headshot. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, those are the sets of Call of Duty. The ones that are doing a lot of those stupid trick shot, the ones that are like 720 like 20 times in the air.
No, those players are definitely like people that came out from the Titanfall 2 games.
Those are the obnoxious people of Call of Duty.
Yeah,
I'm like,
those are
bro,
like the speed demons. That's what we call
feed your
them.
ego more.
God damn. But then there's also like, if naturally speaking too, if that's the case too, if like the game becomes too overly competitive, does that make the game die? I mean, we look at League of Legends, that's an overly competitive game.
Overly competitive.
Yeah, what is
mean,
the definition of overly competitive?
There's still tiers of people. I mean, like there's still the casuals and there's still the sweats and there's still the over competitive sweats. I mean, like each of these each people that belong into their respective groups play amongst themselves, if that makes any sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If League has a massive issue, it's toxicity. It's the way that people talk to each other. That's the biggest issue. It's not competitiveness
For
or like
real.
casuals or competitive. It's the way people speak to each other.
Although some people would like to say that the toxicity stems from being the competitive nature, but
No,
Well,
I
like,
don't
I
think
could-
so.
I could play a game consistently because I've played League of Legends. I can play like 10 games and get pub stomped in every single one of them and be just fine. Like come back and be like, it is what it is. I'll just try again next week. But if the entire time I'm doing it, I'm just being like lambasted by the same person over and over and over again, it starts to get that like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't play this game anymore. That kills the game for me, not the getting destroyed. Trust me, getting destroyed is not like unfamiliar to me in League of Legends. But the toxic nature in which people communicate is a great way of destroying the game.
Yeah, dude, the continuous pings.
Indeed.
yeah.
They're
It's like
all
the-
behind the fucking computer screen and we can't hear them talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I did like there's definitely like in this case, it's not the over competitive nature that kills games. It's in this case the community that whether or not the game lives or not.
100% to be
Sure.
real.
Yeah, because let's also look for another good example, BattleBit Remastered. Remember when that shit came out?
No.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
then.
forgot about
Sorry.
it.
So BattleBit Remaster was like a low poly or like a Roblox looking like game.
Bro, that game
It looks like
lasted a solid
Battlefield.
month.
Yeah. Like here's the thing. It was definitely fun while it lasted.
Mhm.
But that was only because the fact that we were getting matched up with a lobby full of other like casual people that wanted like to play like a new Battlefield style game. And for others, it's like, oh shit, this looks like Roblox. So you're gonna have like a bunch of kids also playing on this game too.
Mhm. Yeah,
But-
I think that low poly design is honestly what kind of ruined it.
What ruined it for you? Damn.
Yeah, I mean, because then, like you said, all the bunch of kids that started playing it because it looked like Roblox.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of feel bad for fucking beating up kids in a video game.
No, I don't. Fuck them kids.
All right. Anyways, need the police coming to Brian's house now.
Wait, no.
Weird.
He likes beating up kids. He says.
Wait. No, officer, I could explain.
No, you can't. Get down on the ground, dirtbag.
But oh shit, hold on. I'm trying to like speak right now, but like my throat is like closing up a bit.
That's
Someone
one
help
hell
him.
day.
Someone help him.
Ooh, okay. Man, this is hard. But I think one of the things that definitely like when the over competitive nature does technically kill the game is a lot of people that are playing World of Warcraft. In this case, the MMO scene. Now, I don't know like how many of y'all actually touched them like World of Warcraft like long time ago back then. But when I watch like some of the newer stuff now too, if I watch like any WoW streamer, it looks like fucking like alien to me. I'm like, what am I looking at? Why there's so many UI extensions? Oh man. Like why there's so many? Like you go to an average like WoW streamer's like UI set up to. There's just so many add-ons that they're overlaying on top of their screen just so that they can manage like a raid. And some of the comments I heard from them was that the current problem with the way how WoW like content is being made is that all of these raid bosses are currently being designed as if you have all of these add-on extensions going for
You're
you.
making me want to cough.
Shut up. It's hard to try to. Oh, man. Oh, God. All right. There we go. So, what I'm trying to get at here before I go on to another long tangent here, a lot of new WoW raid content is being designed as if all the players are going to be running a bunch of add-ons to play the raid. Now, for like an everyday person or even just a regular player too, should you be expected to have like third-party add-ons in order to play your content?
Should you be required to have third-party content? Is that
Like
what you're asking?
third player add-ons, third-party add-ons in order to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
like an endgame content. Like, let's just say for example,
Sounds kind of whack.
well, that is that people have stated too, that like without a lot of these add-ons too, trying to do any of these raids are almost too impossible to do.
Mhm.
Like, it is still doable, but it's definitely way more work for any player to do. It's like as if like having these add-ons is already an advantage, or if it's just like a software requirement. Shut up, Michael. It's hard, damn it. Oh my God.
But it does sound super whack.
It is. That's why a lot of people are like, some people want like new MMOs because they see the state that World of Warcraft is at. But as it stands, there hasn't been like good MMORPGs that have come out lately. So until like that does come by too, people are honestly gonna still stick with WoW, whether it's by choice or not. Oh man.
Breathe, Brian, breathe.
It's like the problem is if I breathe, I cough.
Breathe.
Oh,
my
bro,
God.
he got a rant. He's ranting, bro.
God
breathe.
damn.
Gotta breathe.
Oh my God. This makes it so much difficult to like try to give out my sense. So I'll try my best to be as concise. Like we have problems like that with World of Warcraft, where third-party add-on requirements is definitely an issue for like any end game content. As if you're kind of designing this content for like the 0.1 to the 0.1%. And I remember you said something about this, Victor, where like there's nothing wrong with trying to design stuff for that too, if that's who you care about. But if you want to try to make sure that your entire player base is able to do it and you alienate off that, then that's a stupid decision. But so in this case, I'm asking, do you think you can elaborate on that more while I'm trying to cough out my fucking lung real quick?
I don't even remember what I said.
Yeah.
This man has the fucking memory of a goldfish.
Oh my
Worse than a
God.
goldfish, bro.
I was gonna like I don't know much about WoW, but I mean, what from the sounds of it, it's kind of like, I mean, that sounds like a bit much because that truly is kind of making like new players have to like, if they don't know about this, they're never gonna succeed.
Yeah. And there's even like cases right now too where, oh no, wait, sorry, there isn't like any new MMOs that are doing well. FF14, my bad for people that do play it. Oops. So Final Fantasy 14, they do have like a strict policy too that if you're doing any raid content too, if they catch you like running third-party extensions or add-ons, they will just ban you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even as simple as like having the camera like zoom out a bit more. You could get banned for it. But overall too, based on what a lot of people have said too, it's honestly still better anyways. Like all of these raid bosses, yes, they're difficult, but they're not impossible compared to like WoW raids.
Or Destiny raids.
Oh God. Now, Destiny raids is something else entirely too. Man, imagine like releasing like a live service game too, but then you literally keep content unless people buy the expansion.
It sounds like normal practice.
But if anything, they kind of levied off on that too, but it's still like some content you just cannot you do unless you buy it.
That's pretty shitty.
Or if anything, you can't go past a specific level because there's like a level cap going on. But you know, there's that.
I mean, that's still pretty shitty regardless. You have to buy something in order to continue the game, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like get. You need to buy more access to the game that you've already paid money for.
No, I mean that was like the general practice of effectively like how these MMO games are operated as.
Most MMO games, do you really have to pay to get?
Yeah, I think Final Fantasy you have to pay monthly or something.
You do, but no, I
What?
mean that's about it. Yeah, you do pay monthly for it, but overall, it's
Isn't
still
WoW
way
monthly
better
too?
content. Yeah, WoW is a monthly basis too.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, this game's running like forever, so
Yeah.
I mean, it has to run massive servers.
Well, regardless whatsoever too, that was like one of the examples of like if like developers trying to create content, in this case them practically developing themselves in a hole of like we had to keep designing harder and harder content for our player bases because they're getting more and more gear, but and then you kind of just alienate out everybody else, but then you're like, fuck, we need to actually appease them, but how do we do that? But then there's also like a statement that I believe a Helldivers 2 developer said too, that like a game for everybody is a game for nobody.
true, because that means it could potentially mean that the game won't be fun because it's too easy or something.
Yeah, like you
Something or
make it
other.
too, it's like you make it too broad where like there's no engagement either.
Yeah, there's no engagement with like a specific group of people.
Yeah. Like Helldivers 2, for example, would be something that like it did have like problems too, where like if you're not running the correct build, you would definitely get kicked out of it too. But they realized it was only because the fact that one, they kept nerfing a lot of the weapons too for a PvE game, which never made sense to everybody. And then once they realized that like, hey, this isn't really helping anybody if we keep nerfing weapons, they just kind of reverted all of the changes that they did and then buffed a lot of things even more, just so that if you want people to have more build diversity in like your teams, such as you want people to run whatever the hell they want, just buff everything.
Yeah.
It's a
One
fucking
shot
PvE.
everything.
Yeah, it's a PvE game. You can do whatever you want to do.
You really can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That balancing in a PvE game seems really ridiculous.
It is, but it's definitely something that like they don't want like a specific build to like dominate like the entirety PvE, because they do want to
That's
see
fine.
some.
That means
Mixture.
that means your other builds aren't unique enough,
Mhm.
or they don't have like a specific role. They don't fit into the game correctly. Is what I'm trying to say.
Mhm. So in general too, like if you can't design a game where like anybody can build whatever they want to and it will still work even if you release new content, then I don't know. I think that's something that like a lot of people even said to
That's just
the
that's just
issue.
poor design then. That's just poor game. That's just poor design then. I mean, like,
Mm.
if everybody just decides to use one specific, like let's say weapon,
Mhm.
that means all your other weapons either don't fit into the game somehow, or they just maybe it's just underpowered compared to that one singular gun. That's fine.
Mhm.
But if they're all the same, if they're all, let's see, if they're all on the same, like, how do I say?
Base power. Let's
Yeah,
say
if they're
that.
on the same base power. People are still using one gun over another. I mean, it's just clear that the other guns are poorly designed.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to use them because they don't fit into their strategy or don't fit into the game style, the gameplay style, or something like that.
Yeah.
That's just poor
Yeah.
game design.
Yeah. Like, and then we could kind of see that already with like the build guide videos. So if they all are saying the same thing too, then something is wrong.
Hmm.
If there's not like, in this case, like League of Legends, there's not like a multitude layers of like different diverse build guides out there. I don't like
Yeah.
build guides aren't a problem, But if the build guides content are becoming like similar to each other, then that becomes a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that because, like, I mean,
Yeah.
I can't expound too much more on it, but it, like, yeah, if you look at like 50 builds and there's like maybe like one or two differences between like very few of them, then I also kind of believe that like you didn't develop like the tree well enough, because if one is always de facto better than the other, then like why even have it?
hmm Yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of those things that in game design, it's not like there's no easy fix either. These are definitely hard just because you have no idea how these players are going to play your game in the first place. Which is,
I mean, it's just
yeah.
each build isn't unique enough. That's all it is.
Mhm.
They don't have their own uniqueness to it.
Yeah. And well, I think if anything too, we can even go into like the biggest offense right now with the way how a lot of casual gamers are going into all the gacha games, especially Genshin and Wuthering Waves. Now, it's funny enough anyways too that like I say this too because I've been catching up on Wuthering Waves, so I've been getting a lot of this shit recommended to my feed. So I'm gonna say some stuff on it just off of secondhand knowledge, effectively. But there's definitely a case that I've seen so far where a lot of like Genshin players are definitely fleeing from the Wuthering or fleeing from the Genshin Hoyoverse sphere, and they're just trying out more games that they have to offer. That either they have to offer or that Wuthering Waves is doing with their newest update that came out. And everyone is like complaining too. It's like, why there's so many people leaving our game? And then I look at some of the shit that's happening at Genshin. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know what's happened over there. That's why I quit 2 years ago.
Yeah. Like I look at one thing too, then I look at the other side. Why is this Excel spreadsheet required?
Dude, there are, for a game that you just want to enjoy and play casually for real, like the end game like content that they do, they have like speed runs and shit, and just because it's competitive at that point, and everybody just builds like they relic farm and they try to get like the perfect relics and like best in slot like team and weaponry and all that bullshit. I'm like, bro, like that's
Yeah.
cool and all, but yeah, you kind of suck if you need those. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah. It's like I look at some of the things that happen too. Then I really think I was like, is there ever truly like a considered casual games besides Candy Crush?
That's an addiction. That's not a
Yeah.
casual game.
Yeah, fair enough. Because like the more I really think about it too, like I think the only
Oh,
thing
you
that
know
I could
what?
see
American Truck Simulator. That's casual.
American
No, we
Truck
can
Sim-
be competitive.
It's
Yeah.
competitive.
Who can deliver faster? Yeah.
I guess by that standard, then like anything could be represented
Anything, it
as
can be
competitive.
competitive. Truly, it
You can make something competitive. It's like, hey, I bet you
Yeah.
can't deliver this in like 5 seconds or some shit.
Yeah, bro, I'm on Amazon Prime
Glide
and shit
across
right
the
now,
highway.
bro.
Whenever they
Exactly.
shut it down, you just break through the barricades and
Yeah,
drive
exactly.
through. You're like, I'm not taking a detour.
Yeah. And like, let's say, for example, to like the skill issue too. I think the other good example that we could really cover it too would be like trading card games, for example. I think right now too, for a lot of trading cards games, I don't think a lot of people generally play that in the first place anymore this generation. Because I remember like when we were growing up, Yu-Gi-Oh! And like Pokemon trading card games were like the shit back then. Everybody was getting into it.
Magic.
Oh yeah, Magic too.
Magic. Oh man, Magic. I remember my brother played that.
Why? Do you
I
still have
never
your
even
deck?
heard of Magic, bro.
Does your brother still have a deck?
Probably
Doubt
I
it.
played like years ago, like when I was young.
Ah, fair enough. But yeah, it's just like I think the other thing that people have said to that, Matt, like a lot of the trading card games too, especially for Yu-Gi-Oh, it's becoming so impossibly hard for like any new players to actually enter the game. Not because of like the skill alone, but literally every individual card that you would need, you're practically being price gouged.
Yeah, that
Like-
is definitely a problem.
Yeah, like if there's like a card that, let's say that you're following like a deck profile build that you want to get into the game, that's fine. you look at it, and then you see one of the cards. Oh, okay, it's Ash Blossom. How much is this going for? Why the fuck is this $150 for this card?
Mm.
That's why you don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Though. Complete One Piece.
Actually, I could be wrong on that statement too. If Ash Blossom is actually $150, give me 1 second as I look to the side here. I have the internet
Well,
here.
you know, minor point he's trying to make. There are a lot of cards that that cost way too much to buy.
Mhm.
You know, it is crazy because right now in One Piece, you can
Oh, I
have
take
like
that back.
fucking waifu
Sorry,
tags.
it's not that much too. It's actually around
Hold on,
$9.
wait.
But either
Boy,
way,
was
Thanks for interrupting.
either way, the point is,
Yeah.
Lloyd's trying to make the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like diverting from that, like at being Ash Blossom being like a fucking expensive card, like in One Piece, literally, if there's like a special print of a pre-existing card, if it's any one of the fucking female characters like Nami or Boa, they are more expensive just because they have horny degenerates that like lord over them. Like I'm telling you, this most recent set for OP9, this Nami was like market price was like 230. And Boa was like 130. I'm like, then all the guys were like below 100. I'm like, what
They're gonna release
what?
all female decks. They're gonna keep doing that.
Dude, like Nami has had so many SPs and they've all been over 100. Like there's waifu tax. That's what people call it. It's literally waifu tax, and it's crazy, and it's hard for people to like really,
Yeah.
want to buy these cards and play them. That's why when I get these cards, it's literally strictly for collecting. I don't want to actually play like those more expensive cards. That's why I have like budget-friendly decks that probably won't even cost like 100 or 150.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's like the biggest issue right now too, is that like even if you do try to make a budget friendly deck, when I got into playing in this case another one called Cardfight Vanguard, the average deck pricing too, if you got all of the parts you need, it would cost you around $200. Depending on which like era of like set that you're playing in. Because there were definitely certain cards that were $20 a pop to even $50 a pop. So, needless to say too, it is expensive, ridiculously expensive, how a lot of these cards could just go like above the moon at that point. That like, yeah, literally there's no other person in there that will want to play the game if they're literally being price gouged.
You know, that's a skill issue because of money.
Yeah, skill issue because of money. Yeah, you just didn't spend more.
That's some pay to win kind of games, bro.
Mhm.
Yeah, TCG games are notoriously to be like actual pay to win. However, it's still
Crazy.
skill based. It's still skill based in the end if you could actually get those cards in your hand.
What
But-
if you could get the cards?
But
Obviously, you
again,
gotta know how to use the card. So
yeah, like I said, it just depends in the end. But
I mean, it really
definitely,
depends on the pilot, though.
yeah. Oh man, that's why like I think yeah, like looking at that might have been that too. No, I think it's the only other casual game that I could honestly see would literally be like Dungeons and Dragons.
Hell no.
Okay, I take that back.
Warhammer.
D&D is hell no, not to Warhammer. That's already you're asking for yourself to put another mortgage on your house in order to play
Yeah.
Warhammer. God damn. And not only that, too, you gotta paint those sons of bitches yourself. All
Mhm.
50 pieces.
you gotta do too much work just to play a game.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Mine will not be painted. They're
God. God.
all gonna
Like
be
one of
gray
mine.
or however they come.
They come in like just dull, like primed gray color.
Good. You have
That's
to
how
use your
they'll stay.
imagination. The
Yeah.
enemy is gonna have the opponent's gonna have to use their imagination.
Mhm. They can be whatever you want them to be.
Whatever color you want them to be, they'll be that color.
Yeah. God damn. But yeah, it's pretty much like, yeah, that's like the biggest issues with like, I do think that like, I think really the only thing that's a skill issue really is just the money for like those that are physical there. Like in this case, physical financial limitations that like gatekeep a lot of people from playing the game.
Mhm.
But then you really just begin to ask yourself too that like if you really want to play the game too, why don't you just go head in or just go through with it? Because obviously I get to that like some people don't want to do it because they don't really have the time, nor do they feel like they want to invest so much money and time at a game if they know they're not going to be good at it. But it's like Dev asking, but I do want to play the game. But it's like, if you're going to be wishy-washy about that, just don't play the game.
Indeed.
Like, if you're already having to doubt yourself if you're going to play this game or not, just don't play it.
Impossible.
I had that experience, but it was against somebody I played against today.
Oh.
I literally made this man mold,
Damn.
and I didn't even do anything disrespectful. I just played the game.
Just play the game.
I didn't shit talk him or anything. I literally played the game, won the game.
No.
You just
He's not
GG to
winning, bro.
him.
Why'd you win? Why'd you let him win?
Okay. I think
Why the fuck am I letting him win? Oh fuck! You come here to play. You pay $15. You come here. You expect me to get handed a free win?
Yeah.
I'm like hell no.
okay. I think that's also another thing about it too. That like, do you think honestly the biggest issue right now with a lot of these complaints is that people are definitely coming into these games with the wrong mentality?
Yeah,
Yes,
they just
I think it's always the wrong
they just
mentality.
want to look. They just want to win. But if they lose, they just blame the game and not themselves.
Or
Look
maybe
at low
just don't
tier.
play-
Look at our favorite example, low tier God.
Yeah, he plays low tier fucking character, so of
You play
course.
low tier shit, you get shit. That's it, bro.
Like, I don't know what he's expecting. I think he's expecting to like climb up the ladder by playing low tier characters.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Trying
like
to live up to his name, but his name is not living up.
making it to worlds with being in a world championship playing Lars, but that's not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. You never know,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, like I do believe that like yeah, just straight up the whole thing with like our skilled players like killing the game, or it's like the skill competitiveness or like one killing games. It's like it's a no, but there is definitely an asterisk that we can necessarily talk about. We
I
can still talk
think
about that.
It's more of a mentality issue than it is a skill based issue.
Definitely
Yeah.
a mentality issue.
Yeah, because I look at it too. It's like then you gotta remember too, like, okay, why are there so many people that would complain? Oh wait, we didn't just have COVID. There's so many people that were locked in their homes. Give me 1 second.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, they were locked in their homes. They were just playing games, and that was the games that they saw. They were going for it. They were being miserable at that, while being miserable that they can't go outside.
That sounds like a personal problem then.
Yeah,
mean,
that
there's-
does.
I mean, plenty of ways to. Well, it's COVID. I can't say I had the same COVID experience. But yeah, if you're locked up in the house for 24 hours a day and you play games and all you do is play games,
And all you
I-
do is suck at playing games.
then you're just going to suck. That just sounds like an issue, personal issue to me.
It is.
If you don't get
It is a
any
very
better,
good
then why the
issue.
fuck are you playing?
Yeah. Sometimes you may be good, sometimes you might be shit.
Like,
Like,
if you're
Sometimes
playing
you're gonna be good. Most time you're gonna be shit.
Yeah.
if you're playing a competitive aspect to get better and you don't get any better, I'm like, dog, I think you need to put it down.
I think you
Yeah,
yeah, play a
but-
different game.
Yeah.
I think you need to put on like some single player games and put that shit on easy, because if you can't even beat it on normal, then I don't know.
No, Lloyd, we can't call it easy mode. That's just gonna offend people. We gotta call it what it is, journalism mode.
Journalism mode. No,
Okay,
because
we'll
even
call it
sometimes
extra easy.
journalism mode journalists can't do.
We'll
Oh
call it
god.
extra easy
God.
for those journalists.
Like,
God.
bro,
It's like the
Those-
New York Times journalist could actually fucking play something. But
they wouldn't even probably play Overcooked that well either. 'Cause that shit's hard.
God.
Bro, they're gonna complain about Overcooked for sure.
Oh,
We complain
definitely.
about Overcooked. And that's
No, I'm
supposed to be a
fucking-
family-friendly game. Hell no, it's not.
Yeah, bro, we're just screaming at each other, bro.
But
Wonderful.
what do you mean? That's the most realistic to a kitchen experience that you're gonna have in the back.
Mhm.
Especially
guess,
for
but-
people that have no idea what they're doing in the kitchen.
Sure,
I
there's a raccoon in a wheelchair in the kitchen.
And
That's going-
Best believe it.
look,
First
we
of all,
don't
a raccoon wouldn't be in the kitchen.
Nah, we are not. We are not going to segregate people based on their physical disability. We are accepting no matter what. So I will yell at that raccoon in a wheelchair if he doesn't give me the fucking chicken.
You better roll faster.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you're missing my point here.
I
Just
I'm
ignoring
all
the
for
point.
advocating.
I
like,
think Brian's
you
an
know,
asshole.
I think I'm all for advocating. You can be in a wheelchair, work in the kitchen, and all that. I'm saying you can't have a raccoon in there because they're fucking dirty animals.
Hey.
Huh?
Says you.
Do you think they shower?
Did you watch
No.
Ratatouille?
Do you
bro? Those are
shower?
rat-
I'm
Look,
kidding.
didn't you watch
Yeah,
Ratatouille
you
when you were
shower?
a kid, bro?
Oh
If
my
you
god.
watch Ratatouille, you'll see a rat cooking in the kitchen, bro. It's
Yeah,
nothing.
and that was fucking Disney. That's in a fucking animated movie. That ain't real.
That's fine. Well, game's animated.
Look,
Exactly.
a raccoon can't be in the kitchen. Have you not seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Huh?
Small spoilers, but
I
Michael, go
think-
watch it.
I don't think that kind of relates to the point, but okay.
Yeah, Brian. Have you watched Ratatouille, Brian? Have
Yes,
you
I
watched the
have.
rats run around the kitchen cooking food for an extremely asshole food critic?
See, that
Yeah.
even enforces our that all games can be competitive. A fucking cooking game.
Yeah.
Bro, truly anything's competitive. Even single player games are competitive.
I think-
when you're competitive against the NPCs.
I think
Dude,
truly
Speed running against everybody.
Yeah.
I think truly what like a lot of these criticism comments are missing too, that like I feel a lot of these people, they're definitely playing this game, definitely solo. Where in this case, I still play like League of Legends and like other multiple or like multiplayer shooter games, but it's mostly because I play with you guys. Like I don't play multiplayer games by myself. I always like play with like a couple of friends at least.
Of course.
Because like obviously too, the way how I see enjoyment is not like by myself, because that's just gonna be miserable. But I'd rather joke it off with like a bunch of people that I know instead of
Joke
like
it
some
off.
No, baby.
What does that mean?
Joke it off, bro.
He wants
joke it
some-
right off.
no
He wants some strokes.
that goddamn, I'm about to have a fucking stroke with this next cough here.
Hey, bro, don't
An
be careful what
aneurysm.
you wish for.
God.
That happened to me earlier today.
What?
Be careful what you wish for. And I got my wish, but it wasn't a good wish.
Getting stroked?
Hell yeah, dude.
I feel like we're
Stroke?
losing
Are
the
you
plot
getting a
here,
stroke?
guys. I think we're losing the plot here, guys.
No, there was never a plot. It's all in your
Yeah.
mind.
Oh, anyways, what I'm trying to get at, dude, is that do you think what's like the way how a lot of the God damn it, you guys are making me cough. Give me a second. Let me dribble.
He's dying.
He's
Guys,
dying,
we need to save
guys.
him. He's having a skill
He's
issue.
dying. Skill immunity.
Oh my god.
Skill issue.
Oh my god, I hate you all. But I do think too, like with a lot of these comments that are saying about like the competitive nature or like the skill issue that happens in games too. Really, if you look at it too, it's only like just within your personal level, and it's just only affecting your mentality because you're letting it affect you.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
there's
what
like
you
this
said.
You can choose not to play the game.
Yeah, you choose not to play the game, or if anything, just tell your friends and be like, "Hey, you guys just want to play? I don't want to play this game by myself no more." And then
Yeah,
next,
dude.
you know, yeah, like literally, it's like what I'm getting from this is that it's definitely a small minority of people that are doing this. And obviously, if you have that one friend that's overly competitive about the game, you're less inclined to like play games with him too, just because depending on how he like handles criticism too, he'll probably just blow up on you, which is
true.
fair. So you wouldn't want to play like games like that too. But again, that also revolves around in this case the toxicity in between people, because again, that's just him. He's just venting his frustrations out in the most unhealthiest way possible. Whereas people that are in this case, they lose, they just realize, okay, we lost. What do we learn from it? Cool. Move on to the next one. Yeah. Or don't learn anything and just keep trying again.
Just play, bro. Just say fuck it.
Yeah. Like, it really isn't, like, for a lot of things, it shouldn't be that deep to really say that, like, is there a skill issue, like, that prevents, like, players from, like, playing the game? I mean, skill issue refers as if only refers to the individual's personal skill ceiling at this point.
I mean, it could be measured in different contexts as well.
Yeah.
Like Victor said, when we're playing a multiplayer game, Delta Force, for example, you may say like you're at the bottom, but you could have done something that impacted the game, and it just may not reflect on the scoreboard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's really not quantifiable.
True.
Yeah.
And that goes back to skill-based matchmaking. That's a skill too. That's
Yeah.
akin to what we call soft skills.
Yeah. Like just straight up too. Like, yeah, skill issue being in games is not like a big issue, really. Nor is it something that like you should expect like any other players that will to like that are playing the game, depending on how they want to take it, if they want to get better at the game or not. If they don't want to get better at the game, that's on them. Who gives a fuck? If they just want to play the game just to play the game, kudos for them. They can do so. Just like how in this case, people are allowed to have fun at a game that they want to be competitive in. It's such a weird question. The more you guys like help me like sit and like have my thought process like sorted out here.
What?
What?
Now, like the skill issue itself too is now like even a real like tangible problem, as it's more like a conglomerate of like voices that are saying that like skilled players are like what kills the game. Because if skill players were the one that truly killed the game, League of Legends would not have popped off the way it did.
I think they keep it alive because it's so entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
So it's just like watching. It's just like it's just like all those esports play, professional esports play. They put the time in, and they put it on the big stage, and we watch it, and it's like, oh shit, this is cool. We got
Yeah.
commentators and all that. It's just like fucking professional, like
It's like a real sports game.
football. Yeah, like basketball and all that. Football. It's just like they put time in. You see very exciting players, and it makes you want to watch. And just the same goes for video games like Overwatch, Call of Duty. It's like, and Valorant, League, all of it, NBA 2K, Madden. Like, they're all good. You want to watch them, then that brings up the game. Like the small minority of people that said, the skill plays, like the skill gap is just too huge. It's kind of it's just a small minority, and they don't really speak for the masses.
Yeah.
True.
And honestly, I would like to at least vouch on, like, based on what I've seen too. I think the overall skill players too, the overall player bases in League of Legends have actually got better skill wise across the board. Like, there's still like we did have like at least a migration of people like kind of leave the game, but even that too, as more people leave, there are more people that joined.
And that's why it's been around for 15 years now.
For a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
And with
Very long
Arcane
time.
being released, I think it kind of renewed interest in League for those who had like fallen out of it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe
There's-
even just bringing in people like lore fanatics. Maybe they don't even want to play the game, but they want to look into the League of Legends lore.
Yeah.
That can
Like,
bring them
that's
in.
also-
that
which is
way.
also fine. That's also why, like, right themselves do. They want to at least create like more games than just League of Legends, which is also perfect for them too. Like, if they want to like keep a lot of their player bases too, and it's like, okay, we just got to make more games for them to play. So there's that. So the skill issue, again, it's not necessarily a real problem, but it's in this case a question that the person needs to ask themselves, if like, how much more are you willing to like invest yourself into this game in order to get better at it? If you don't want to, that's perfectly fine, but you shouldn't expect for you to win games based off of that.
Shakri.
Oh man. Oh, god damn, that is, even as I was so short too, I was still coughing.
He's dying.
Oh, you saved him. But yes.
No, you're good.
Oh god. Oh my god. Another day. So if anything, I do have like cough medicine at this time I have a take too, but it's gonna take a while to like kick in anyway. So I could have taken this at any point too, but it would not have mattered yet.
Yes,
But
sir.
That's
Yeah.
all right, dude.
yeah, and
You did your best.
but
Shut
I
up.
think no, you shut up. God damn it! I'm trying to think of something else to say here, but I think there's not much
We
else.
could just wrap it up. I think
Yeah.
we've gotten our point across.
Yeah, like
We
there's
definitely
nothing
got
else
a point
really.
across.
And if this goes any longer, I think we might find you in a coffin. So
Probably.
Yeah. He's coughing in a coffin. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah, dude.
God, bars. But
Yeah,
anything
you're
else
gonna be
that you guys?
behind bars.
Wait, hold on. What? Oh god. Anyways, is there anything you guys would like to say to our audience, especially into the new year?
Yeah, stop being little bitches.
Have a happy new year.
I agree with Victor. And Michael.
I mostly just agree with Victor. Stop being little bitches and make better New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, and stick to them for the whole year.
Yeah.
Stop
Also,
being little bitches.
That's why I
Yeah.
don't make New Year's resolutions, so I don't have to break them and feel bad about myself.
Yeah, that makes sense. Fair. That's fair.
Also, stop going into the gym for like 2 weeks just so that you can appease your New Year's resolution. God fucking damn
Oh.
it.
Yeah, dude.
God.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, Michael, me and you should go work out again.
100%.
But until
Sure.
then,
110.
oh, well, shit. But thank you again, everybody, for tuning in for tonight's podcast. And what are the talks resolution? No, I'm not gonna appease you on that. These are personal now.
What?
To someone in the chat said, what are the talks resolutions? Nah, I'm not gonna say it on the podcast stream now.
He said, nah.
Yeah,
Nah,
will say
I'm gonna
mine.
do my own thing.
yeah, exactly. But anyways, that will be it for tonight's stream too. Thank you everybody for tuning in for tonight. I hope everybody here has a happy new year. Make responsible choices. Don't do whatever I do.
Dude, make irresponsible choices and do exactly what he do.
What the fuck?
It's up to you. It's your choice. You know, Lois, both of them is giving you a choice. Y'all decide on which one y'all want to be.
I'm the devil on your shoulder. Brian's also the devil, but has a halo around his arm, but not his head.
What the
Arm.
fuck?
So it
Anyway.
makes his own sense.
Anyways, thank you everybody. Have a wonderful evening.
Ooga booga, Merry Christmas and New Year. Bye bye. I'm just kidding.
Bye.
What's the
All
next
right.
one?